So this is a short sequence. Gentle yoga, we're thinking about the elements water, so we're thinking about flowing. So we're going to use Ujjayi breath through this. First of all, we're just going to take a couple of moments, a couple of breaths to focus in. Coming to the inhale and the exhale. Just noticing them, not changing them. Being aware of where you are on the mat. Feeling the ground beneath you supporting you. Setting a sankalpa, an intention for this session if you so wish to. I am fluid, I am moving. I am going with the flow, going with the current. This few moments bring us into this present moment, opening up the eyes gently, bringing the hands down to the side, and as you breathe in, bring that arm up, waving over, and breathe out, and then breathe in, bring the other arm up to the other side, and keeping going in your own breath pattern. Bringing the hands back down, bringing them to the knees. And we're just going to bring this shoulder towards the right knee, and then come round with the right shoulder to the left knee. Gentle twist to begin with. Perhaps now coming to that Ujjayi breath, so as you breathe in, and then breathe out, just restricting that throat at the back to make that beautiful wave sound. Come back up to sitting. And take one nice full breath in with that Ujjayi breath. So breathing in through the nose. And as you breathe out, the back of the throat. Making that beautiful wave sound. Coming gently up to standing. Coming to the tiptoes as we breathe in, bringing the arms up, waving forward, lengthening through the front of the body and breathing out, coming back down. Like the tide, ebbing and flowing. Using your own breath pattern, using that Ujjayi breath if you want to. And then on the next breath out, just coming to Tadasana, checking in with your base, checking that balance across the feet, across the hips, the knees, and across the shoulders. And we're going to turn along the long side of the mat, and we're going to work through Chandra Namaskar. The moon, of course, is very important for water, the tides. So this would seem very appropriate. So we're going to breathe in, bring the arms up. We're going to crescent over to the side as we breathe out, away from the mat. Breathe in, back to the middle. Breathe out along the mat. Breathe in, back to the middle. And breathing out, step out into our wide leg stance, our star position. Turn the palms to face up. And as you, on the next breath out, we're going to take the sit bones back in space, bend the knees and come into that goddess squat. We're going to breathe in and come back to that star position. We're going to adjust the feet by bringing the left foot parallel with the short edge of the mat. I'm going to turn the right toes towards the short edge of the mat. We're going to keep the hips facing towards the long edge of the mat. We're going to lean out, reach out with the right hand as if we were going to grab something. And when you feel that sensation in the side here, on the left-hand side, you can let that hand, right hand come down to the knee and bring the left hand up to the ceiling into your triangle pose, your Trikonasana. On the next breath out, we're going to circle that hand round and we're going to turn to face that right foot. Pivot on the left foot, bring the hands down into that high lunge position. Drop the left knee, let that left foot go. Steady through the abdominals and wave forward into this low lunge salute, taking that to wherever that needs to be for that back bend for you. Breathing out, take the hands down, lift up that back knee onto those feet into the high lunge position. We're going to take the right hand over the right foot, and we're going to pivot on both feet to bring us towards that long edge of the mat again. From here, we're in a side half squat. We can be high up, or we can bring that all the way down to that full half squat. Breathing in, we're going to come back and walk over to the middle. We're going to take that half squat to the left-hand side, either staying up high or coming down to that full half squat. Listening to that feedback from your body so you know where your edge of comfort is this evening. From here, we're going to take the left hand round and we're going to pivot on the feet to come into that high lunge position, this time facing towards the back of your mat. When you're ready, we're going to drop that right knee down this time, engage those abdominals and wave forward to come up into that low lunge salute. Breathe out, take the hands back down, come back to that high lunge position. We're going to adjust the right foot so it's parallel with, just about parallel, whatever fits your body, parallel to the short end of the mat. We're going to take the right hand over to the inside, left hand over to the inside of the edge of the left foot. We're going to come up onto those fingers. We're going to keep this left knee nice and soft. We're going to breathe in, and as we breathe in, we're going to engage those abdominals, come up, and bring that arm up and through so we come into our triangle on this left-hand side. Breathing in and coming through, adjusting those feet to come back to that wide leg star position. Turn the palms to face the sky, and as you breathe out, take those sit bones back in space and come into that goddess squat. Breathing in, come back to that star position. We're going to take the right foot to the left foot and come to standing into Tadasana with the hands reaching to the sky. So breathe out, present over along the mat, over to the right hand side hopefully. Breathing back into the middle and breathing out away from the mat, which may be towards the left hand side hopefully. Breathing, come back to the middle. Breathe out, take the arms back down to Tadasana. So hopefully you're at the other end of your mat. And now we're going to work our way backwards. So we're ebbing and flowing along the mat, just like the tide. We're going to breathe in and take the arms up again. We're going to breathe out away from the mat, present over to the left-hand side to begin with, or away from the mat. Breathe in, come back to middle. Breathe out along the mat. Breathe in, back to middle. Breathe out, step out to that star position. Those best words, feet just pointing towards the corners of the mat. As we breathe in, we're going to turn the palms to face the sky. Breathing out, take those sit bones back, come into that goddess squat. Breathing in, coming back to that star position. We're going to turn the left foot to point the toes towards the short edge of the mat. We've got a nice soft knee. And you might want to adjust that right foot just to give yourselves that balance and that stability. We're going to reach out with the left hand as if we were coming to grab something. And when you feel that sensation in the right hand side, we're going to let that left hand drop to the left leg and that right hand go up to the sky. We're going to breathe out, let the arm come around. We're going to turn and pivot on the feet to come down to that high lunge position facing the back of your mat. We're going to let the left knee drop, let that foot go. We're going to feel that give from the ground, just a little wiggle, engaging those abdominals. Breathe in, head up to that low lunge salute. Breathe out. Come back down. Pick up that right knee. Then we're going to turn. We're going to take the left hand over the left foot. And we're going to turn on both feet to bring us back to the feet pointing towards the corners of the mat. Nice soft knees. We're in the high half squat position. Either staying here or you can take that to that full squat position. You might be feeling like you can bring those hands off. And then wherever you are in that squat, we're going to walk over to the other side, to the right hand side. Hopefully either staying in that high lunge and feeling that feedback from the ground, keeping that head in line with the spine, or coming all the way through to that full squat, bringing the upper body up and bringing the hands up to prayer. Otherwise, wherever you are, high or low squat, we're then going to breathe out, turn towards the front of the mat. And so we've now got the right foot in front. We're going to drop that left knee to bring us back to that low lunge position. Engaging those abdominals, just getting that little bit of feedback from the floor as you use that to move yourself up on that inhale into our low lunge salute. Breathe out, bring the hands back down around that right foot. Pick up that left knee. And again, take the right hand over the right foot. If you need to adjust that back foot, because we're going to come up into that triangle, so you might want to bring it a little bit further forward, that left foot. Going to come up onto those fingers. We're going to feel those abdominals engage, and as you breathe in, we're going to be able to come up towards that knee, whatever is good for you. Coming into our Trikonasana on this right hand side again. Next breath out, we're going to bring the arms around, we're going to turn the feet round, back to that wide leg star position. Turning the palms over and breathing out, taking the sit bones back in space, dropping into that goddess squat. Breathing in back to that star position. And on the next breath in, we're going to step this left leg towards the right leg. Arms up towards the sky, bringing us back to Tadasana with a salute. And as we breathe out, the next time, we're going to crescent over along the mat towards the left. Breathe into the middle and breathe out away from the mat. Back to the middle and breathe out and come to Tadasana. We're going to turn towards the front of the mats. I'm going to breathe in, breathe out, soft knees, bending from the hips, coming into forward fold. Just moving the knees backwards and forwards, just a little bit to bring yourself into a sway. Might like to imagine yourself as seaweed. Or not. And then when you're ready, you take the hands down and we're going to step back with both legs to bring us to that tabletop position. We're going to breathe in, we drop that belly, bring up that head, working through cat-cow, breathing out, taking that upper back towards the ceiling and tucking that head in. From here, we're going to come back through to our all fours tabletop position. We're going to lift up the left hand, we're going to step through with the left foot, bring us into that low lunge position. We're going to breathe in to bring us back up to that salute. So we breathe out, we're going to straighten that knee, that left leg, and come down over that leg. Keeping that knee soft. And breathing in, coming back to that salute. We're going to bring the hands down to prayer. We're going to breathe in and grow that spine just a little bit. And as we breathe out, we're going to turn from the hips and take the right elbow towards the right left knee. Nearly confusing stuff. Next breath in. Still going to be nicely long through that spine and through the front body. As you breathe out, come back to the middle. Breathe in, grow up through that spine. Breathe out. Take those hands down. Take that left foot back to tabletop. Breathe in, bring that head up, drop that belly. Breathe out, take that head under, take the upper back up to the sky. Next breath in, come back to tabletop. Pick up that right hand, step that right leg through this time. Breathe in and up to that low lunge salute. And as you breathe out, we're going to take this right leg just a little bit straighter, but keeping that knee soft. Bending down over it. Breathing in, coming back to that lunge, low lunge salute. Forwards and backwards, just like that. C. Bring the hands down to hearts. Breathe in, grow up through that spine, lengthen through that front body. And as you breathe out, turning from the hips, this time taking the left elbow to the right knee. Maybe a wee reminder on that Ujjayi breath. And as we breathe out the next time, coming back to that center position. And then breathing out, coming back down, taking that right leg back. And we're going to come back to savasana, to child's pose, extended child's pose. Resting here. Feeling, coming back to that Ujjayi breath. That's bringing the hands to the first, into first, then resting the forehead down on that if that suits you better. Feeling that wave of the breath. That's connecting with that water within, that 60 or so % of water within the human body. All of that strength, yet fluidity. And then gently coming up and coming back to your easy seated pose. Just taking a minute to come back to that breath. And either continuing with that soft Ujjayi breath, enjoying that wave of inhale and exhales, or just coming to a full yogic breath, filling up that belly when you breathe in and breathing out, letting that belly relax. From here, it would be really good if you could lie yourself down and spend a few moments, 5 minutes, 10 minutes in Shavasana, just keeping with that breath if you need to, observing those inhales and exhales, coming back to that wave, that power of water, and knowing that that strength is within as well, and that fluidity as you move through life. So I invite you to come into your relaxed position, and I'll leave you there for as long as you need to be. Namaste.